Thangam Debbonaire, what should happen to the Elgin marbles?
Well, I think that the British Museum and the Greek authorities are perfectly capable of working together, doing some negotiating and coming up with a good concrete solution. And I back them to do that. But actually what happened yesterday, in my view, wasn't really about sculptures at all. It was Rishi Sunak really being quite rude to a Prime Minister of an ally country when he should be and could have been talking about the economy or security or climate change, the war in the Middle East, or I was going to come to that, what better country could he talk to about how to deal with small boats than a country that's had to deal with a large number of small boats?
Well, come on, what would Labour do, Thangam Debbonaire?
We think it's a good idea for a museum that actually is the custodian of those articles to negotiate with the Greek authorities and come up with a good solution. I look forward to discussing it with the British Museum, which I will be doing in a couple of weeks' time. I'm eager to hear what they plan, but I think ultimately to get involved in a negotiation, which is taking place at this stage, was really foolish of Rishi Sunak.
What would Labour do? Would Labour try and send these marbles back?
No, we're not proposing any legal changes, actually. We are trusting that the British Museum and the Greek authorities can come up with a good, workable solution, and I look forward to hearing the progress of that negotiation.
Is the PM playing politics with these marbles?
I think it was a petty thing. I think it was rude. I think it was disrespectful. And I think the British people who are worried about their bills, who are worried about whether or not they can pay their mortgage, when about 1 million of them will have their fixed rate mortgages come to an end next year because of a Tory budget that took place last year, they will be wondering what planet Rishi Sunak is on. I mean, this is not what people are talking about down the dog and duck, is it?
Well, it is a bit. Some dogs and ducks, maybe.
Maybe, but really the presenting issue for most people, to be serious, is, actually, how am I going to get through the winter? Will my grandma get the operation she needs? Will I be able to get an appointment at the GP surgery? Is my child's school actually going to be able to, have its rack roof mended?
This is an attempt to just distract from the real issues?
It's a very poor one, if so, because although we're still talking about it 24 hours on, British people are still worried about how they're going to pay their bills. This is the real bread and butter of politics, is can I actually afford what I need to get through in life? And after 13 years of Tory governments, most people will be saying, actually, I can't make ends meet anymore.
Don't you think he's defending the UK national interest by being so firm on the matter?
So why not talk to the Greek Prime Minister about that? He had an opportunity. It was in his diary and he cancelled it as well, just at the last minute. I think that contrasts sharply with the man who I hope will be Prime Minister after the general election, Sir Keir Starmer, who met with the Greek Prime Minister yesterday, had a really good, lengthy, constructive discussion on the economy, on small boats, on migration, any number of topics. And I think that just shows the difference between this weak and really, frankly, a man with poor judgment that we've got as Prime Minister at the moment in Rishi Sunak and the Prime Minister in waiting, Sir Keir Starmer.
What will happen after 5 years of a Labour government? Will these marbles be back in Athens?
That's up to the British Museum and the Greek authorities to negotiate. I look forward to hearing from them what their plans are, and I think that they're perfectly capable of negotiating.